action.
He's a guy who literally has been given a second lease on life.
Maybe Dexter Morgan screwed up a little bit by trying to have it all.
The writer's just taking you through that maze.
It's a thrill to be part of the Dexter world.
People that cross Dexter's path become shrapnel in his life.
We last saw Dexter on the frozen forest floor in Iron Lake. We had every reason to believe that that was the end for him.
We wanted to, first of all, explain why he wasn't dead after the end of New Blood. And we then had the opportunity to put him in a dream state. And if you're in a dream state, why not bring back your biggest stars?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Surprise, motherfucker.
At the end of New Blood, Dexter was done with life. And so these spirits were all sort of giving Dexter this, it was like a debate about whether Dexter should give up on life or he should keep going.
He's weathered physically, emotionally, spiritually, and maybe has a different relationship to being alive as a result of that and who he is as a result of that. And I think there are things happen over the course of the season that reveal to him in terms of his perception of the world that he is meant to still be here and meant to be doing what he's doing.
Am I dead?
Not yet. But almost being killed by someone you're fond of has its own particular sting.
The theme that runs through all of these people visiting him is find your son. You know, this is a serial killer show, yes, but it's a family show, oddly enough.
I don't have much to live for. You have a son.
I think Dexter, when he comes to realize that he didn't die, has an undeniable impulse to find out where his son is, how he's doing.
The city's only 4 hours away. Easy drive for Harrison. It's a perfect place to disappear.
He gets wind of some information that leads him to New York, suspects he's there, but he's pretty ambivalent about making contact. And I think he's also somewhat insecure about whether his son would welcome him, would want him to still be alive.
It's funny, Harrison comes into New Blood with just a lot of anger, and that sort of motivates a lot of his interactions with his dad.
I came here for answers.
Ask me whatever you want.
Why did you leave us?
Harrison Morgan is in way over his head, kind of at all times. There's so much that's thrown at him instantly, constantly juggling way too many things.
Hello?
I'm so sorry. Your suite's right this way.
It's just 10 weeks since he shot his father in the chest and thinks he killed him. He is homeless. He's a lost boy, much like Dexter. He's busy trying to blend in. What we need to discover is he fated the same way Dexter is, or is he not?
He's got an anger inside of him, as we see.
It's a similarity that Harrison and Dexter have because they're very different in many ways, but that's a moment where like, ooh, it feels familiar.
What happened after this moment?
I helped them to his room, opened the door, and they went inside.
Did you go in with him?
No. No.
Harrison is a crafty liar, but has not really done this before, or at least to this degree. Don't let him know what you know. But at the same time, Claudette nails Harrison to the wall.
Let us find every piece of surveillance we can on Mr. Morgan.
Claudette, who's this incredible homicide detective who sees things in ways that nobody else does, but the way she's able to do it is by putting on her headphones, knock out the rest of the world, and just sort of focus.
What's her deal?
She sees things in ways we don't.
But if you watch Harrison, one of the ways that Harrison handles the world is by putting in his headphones, playing a song, and sort of turning into himself.
Yeah, Diablo. Harrison? Harrison Morgan? Angel Batista. I used to work with your pops in Miami Metro. Stepping into Batista's shoes again after so many years is like riding a bike. Ultimately, it's the great writing that brought me right back into the flow of things. I love this character. I've done this character. It's the character I've done the longest in my career. So there's a lot of nuances that I have developed throughout the years that all comes back, and it all comes out through the writing.
I love David Zayas. We shoot so much of this out of sequence, and my interactions with David were more or less in sequence. That really, really helped because we pretty quickly discovered we're gonna find our way through these scenes together. And that first one is so awesome because it moves so much. He kind of gets Harrison to be vulnerable, like they're sort of strolling down memory lane, and then a switch flips when Harrison realizes that Batista's trying to get something from him.
Sorry, Dexter wasn't the guy you thought he was. I actually had a similar experience.
With your dad?
With yours. Last time you saw Angel Batista was a phone call he got from Iron Lake, New York, saying that a person that he thought was deceased, Dexter Morgan, was alive. Dexter.
Please let this be another hallucination.
The presence of Batista in Dexter's world and the landscape of the season is really interesting because he really likes him. He respects him. When he tells Batista, don't do this, it's not like a snarling threat. He's pleading in a way, just like, this is not gonna end well.
I'll take my chances, buddy. I think the difference between previous seasons and now Dexter Resurrection is that I know the truth. And that kind of changes his perspective on many things. Angel Batista is the kind that he will try to correct whatever weakness he's had in the past about doing his job and finding out the truth. When I heard you were alive, thought it fitting that Dexter Morgan be legally resurrected.
Or is it because you can't prosecute a dead man?
Angel Batista did make Dexter Morgan legally alive again for many reasons. The main one being you can't really go after and prosecute a dead man.
The finding out from Batista that he's been legally resurrected is, like so many things in Dexter's world, both good and bad. Sort of officially confirms what is the case, that he's been given a second chance, that he's reborn as a result in a way. It's also a very dangerous proposition because it suggests to him that Batista's motivation to arrange for that legal resurrection has to do with Batista's desire to prosecute him, and you can't prosecute a dead person. It's fraught with danger as well.
Dear friend, you are cordially invited to a dinner party for like-minded individuals who share similar passions.
I think Dexter is a little rusty, he's a little compromised for having been shot in the chest and for having been in a coma as long as he was. And it's yet another instance, I mean, he couldn't resist, but of him stepping into the unknown, relinquishing a degree of control out of a desire to find out what this gathering of killers apparently is all about.
It's a dinner party for serial killers. An all-you-can-eat buffet for the dark passenger.
Dexter has always had to blend in to society. He had to learn to appear normal, even though he was struggling with the fact that he wasn't normal. And now he's joined this group of other serial killers as somebody else, and he has to blend in.
So thrilled you accepted my invitation. I didn't know what to expect, given your elusive identity.
Leon Prater is a very complicated man. He has a really fraught history with violence. He comes from a place of violence as a kid. Some people, when they come from that history, that background, that upbringing, they try and go to the bright side of life. And Leon has chosen to go down the dark rabbit hole.
You really like serial killers.
I pride myself on finding the best of the best in every field, so why not death?
What my character has done is he's opened up the possibilities of trying to find any sort of semblance of morality that still exists in these people.
Are you not like me?
Me? Oh. Goodness, no, I am just a huge fan.
He has an interesting thing. It's like he's afraid to meet these heroes of his. He's nervous about it. He's like their #1 fan. He wants to figure out who they really are and how they work.
We're lucky enough in all of these roles, this never happens, to get our first choices. He showed up on the set and it was magic. It was like Uma showing up on the set. There was this presence and power that cannot be denied, and talent.
Dexter is such a known, incredible zeitgeist of a show. I was a big fan of the first couple seasons. It's such fun, smart writing. For me as an actor, all you have is the dialogue. And this is just exquisite writing and well-drawn characters.
And I see you've met Charlie.
Yeah, I have. She's very direct, I know. I couldn't survive without her.
Charlie takes her job very seriously, and if she's the head of security, she's going to check everybody out very carefully. And she's dealing with very dangerous people, as far as she knows, and she's correct. So she never takes her eyes off of Red, which Michael is impersonating one killer instead of himself. She never takes her eyes off him because she knows he's a lethally dangerous man. Her job is to mind him.
Spread him.
There's a box cutter in my sock.
Charlie is inscrutable. She's giving nothing away. He doesn't know who she is, what her role is in this world that he's been invited to.
Charlie is ex-military and very tough and stoic for all intents and purposes. She gives very little away. It's kind of a fun thing about her role in the piece. She's not sort of what she appears to be.
For me, having Uma Thurman on the show, for Clyde having Uma on the show, this was a dream come true for her to play this like incredible badass.
It's amazing that we can come back to this show and attract someone of her caliber to join us. You know, it's pretty cool.
Oh, Mia's here.
Time to see what's on the buffet.
In spite of his commitment to be a lone wolf and compartmentalize and everything else, he can't help but be enticed by the proposition of making a connection with someone who sees the world the way he does.
I assume you're familiar with Mia's work, widely known as Lady Vengeance, as she is notorious for taking out sexual predators.
Predators. Does she have a code?
Dexter and Mia, when they meet and they're drinking wine at Prater's place, and that sort of immediate attraction, and the way that Dexter, if you watch his face, the way that Michael sparks to the thought that Mia might be like me, that she takes out predators. Does she have a code? And we watch Dexter sort of, I mean, let's face it, fall for her.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I was just,
Internet stalking me?
Mia is intriguing, yes, because he at least understands that she does what she does in accordance with some code of her own. And so that sets her apart from all these other people at Prater's gathering.
It was nice meeting you. Text me.
We feel the pull, and we hope the audience does too, of like, we want these two people to be together. The Dark Passenger and Lady Vengeance off together. That sounds fantastic, right?
But between us, I just enjoy killing.
She doesn't really have a code. She's moved on. She had a code, but she's moved on from that and now kills indiscriminately because of the urge.
You're a tease. Should have known you were too good to be true.
Prater's gathering really exploit his desire to be seen, his desire to connect in a way that isn't based on a lie.
To new friends.
To new friends.
To new friends.
He's providing them a safe space where they can just be themselves, speak freely of their crimes, and almost be normal.
This is a safe space for people like you.
There was a serial killer. Investigators think somehow or another, like other serial killers started meeting on his farm. And like serial killers that you've heard of felt this almost cosmic attraction toward this place, and they met there. Even serial killers want to believe in something and belong to something and become something more.
I just love the idea of these people actually, yes, they do sit around and have dinner and small talk about things. That's the sort of black humor, the comedy of it.
I call it the itch.
The need. The great yearning.
The urge.
It's a collection of villains It's like an all-star team of villains. It's not just one villain. It's a rock group of them, basically. And the actors that they've attracted to play all these different villains it's a real smorgasbord of talent and really different personalities, both actors and the characters they're playing. So it's a nice recipe.
Welcome to the freak show.
Who doesn't want to play the bad guy? They each get to like just rip into these roles. Every day we went to work, we were just like, we pinched ourselves. We couldn't believe we got to hang out with all these incredible actors.
Meet the guy voted most likely to become a serial killer in his high school yearbook.
Well, truth be told, I was a bit peculiar back then too, so.
I got to say that we are framing that call sheet. To have those names in a television show means a lot to us, not only as fans, but as people who make the show. It shows us that people want to be in our show. Each of them elevates the other, and then Michael just becomes the best Michael he can be.
It's really gratifying that the world of Dexter and the characters that our writers have created has attracted people like this to join us. It's really cool.
I want to show you one of my dearest passions.
The serial killer's vault it does not disappoint. It's so creepy. The production team on this show they spare no expense, and they're real artists because it felt so creepy. Even though you're in a studio, you're on a set with cameras and actors, it really had a creepy feel to it, the pristine nature of it.
This was the New York Rippers, a man who terrorized the streets I once played on as a child.
We had this thought in our head about what this vault should look like. And Eric Weiler, our production designer, exceeded our expectations. Because it is creepy, but there's also something sort of holy about it.
Inside the vault, there are mementos of various serial killers. Some we replicated. Our prop master, David Shanker, got hold of our old prop master, Josh Meltzer, and got Trinity's hammer. And the exsanguination table was also from the original first season of the show.
Tragic, I know. Maybe if Brian Moser had someone to talk to, someone like himself, he would still be with us today.
Doubtful.
Within Dexter, there is this shame that's been imbued upon him by his father about trophies. And then he walks into this room where these trophies are like glorified. And here's this guy that loves him for them, which is something he's never experienced before.
This memorabilia, these trophies. Harry would have found it disgusting.
I think it's completely unanticipated that Dexter would walk into this bespoke museum of serial killers and discover that he himself or his work is literally put on a pedestal in there. Even though, of course, they don't know it's him. They think it's James Stokes.
I've missed you, friends.
Please don't touch.
Sorry.
It is a museum, and it is the preservation of what Leon Prater is obsessed with. It's just an extraordinary experience to be in there, and we love shooting in there. It's very moving. Consider the history, the capability of people who do what those people do.
I'm surprised you keep all this evidence around. Are all your other guests okay with it?
They trust me.
Working on Dexter has been dreamy. It really has. It's funny, the darker the material, the lighter the set almost, the more fun we have on set, because you just gotta balance it. You know, here we are murdering each other, but in between takes, all we're doing is laughing.
They're kind of like a tightly run, organized ship. And I've just fallen into it with absolute glee because everything runs perfectly and it's a completely harmonious environment as far as the set goes. And it's really been a pleasure.
That went exceptionally well, don't you think?
If you say so.
Such an iconic piece of television, and to get to carry a chunk of that was so exciting, but equally terrifying. Everybody was so supportive and made me feel really, really comfortable and made it really, really fun.
I loved it. I loved it because the writing was beautiful and it just showed each characteristic of each of the characters. They know each other so well, so there's less words and more action that can define what it is that they're trying to connect with.
I gotta know. Why'd you disappear for all these years?
The feeling and experience of bringing Dexter back to life again has been a time warp as much as anything. Going back and doing New Blood was its own experience, but having him apparently die and then come back to life opens up the opportunity for a new, more magical world or a more magical sense of Dexter's relationship to life. I think he has this, in spite of it being fraught with complication and, chaos, this sort of buoyant sense of like, I can't believe I'm still here. That's kind of how it feels playing the character still after all these years.
I've always considered myself a lone wolf, howling into the void. But after tonight, I can hear others howling back to me.
Part of him knows that, like, maybe he could have had a better life if he just would have succumbed to being a serial killer, and could have had all of these serial killers as his friends, and could have shown up every year at Prater's sort of place. But that kernel of good that is inside Dexter just would not allow it. That's sort of the great tragedy of Dexter.